So we're putting a dot with each breath in each corner of our tile. If you have a sketchbook, you can just improvise, just kind of make kind of a square. And then we're going to connect these dots nice and slow and relaxed. These lines do not need to be straight. You're just connecting them with your pencil. Turn that tile. We're going nice and slow, connecting these dots. It doesn't matter where the dots are. It doesn't matter like how far in the corner they are. It doesn't matter how wavy or straight the line is, because it's all going to disappear because we're doing this in pencil. So I turn my tile each time and just connect the dots. So this is a meditative art form. We go nice and slow, let go of what it looks like. And don't try to do it exactly like me. Do it your own way. So we're now going to create a string, which is dividing our tile into sections. So I'm going to go right about here. So not all the way to the corner, but a little bit in. And with my pencil, I'm going to draw a slightly wavy line, and I'm going to hit the side border right about there. And it doesn't matter. So everything I do, every single person is going to do it differently. So just think of a wavy line. Doesn't matter how wavy it is. We're all going to do this differently. And now we're going to draw with our pencil up anywhere, maybe about here, and just draw this curved line to the corner or anywhere on the side. So we're just creating 3 sections. Again, doesn't matter where, just draw this nice line, curved line, anywhere from this wavy line to the edge over here. So Zentangle is all about tapping into our inner artist. Whatever I suggest, if your inner artist decides they want to do something different, then just pay attention, but don't think about it. So put down your pencil and pick up your pen. So I'm using the Micron 01, but any black pen or any pen, you can use a colored pen if you want to, but this is what's recommended from Zentangle. So I'm going to mimic this line, but I'm going to leave some space. I'm not going to really mimic it. I'm going to leave some space and draw another wavy line. It doesn't have to be exactly, just another wavy line, leaving some space in between the two. So it's not an aura. An aura would be really close and doing the same, matching that. We're just drawing another wavy line. Nice and slow and relaxed. And I'm going to do that again, leaving some more space and just doing that again. Nice wavy. And notice how the pen feels in your hand. It should be a light grip. Don't press down too hard. This is relaxing. And then I'm going to fit in another one. So everyone might have a different amount of space here. So you can, and again, don't try to match it exactly like me. I'm actually going to trace over this pencil line as well that I drew. I'm going to trace right over it. Nice and slow, breathing in and out. So now I'm going to zoom in. We're going to draw circles, right? But watch what I mean by that. And when I really, we're going to call it orbs, because a circle implies a perfect round shape, and there's no perfection in Zentangle. So I'm going to draw one right over this line, nice and slow and relaxed. Think of maybe a bubble that just dropped onto a piece of string, maybe. So you can ignore this little thing right there. That just happens when I draw circles. So just draw one right now, just right on that line. And now let's go to this line, the next line over here. And we're going to draw a circle around both of these lines, edges. So I just found one area, I just drew a circle around connecting two of these lines. Don't think too much about it, just do it. And now let's draw another one, maybe right on this line here, anywhere on this line, draw a circle right over that line. There's no perfect way to do it. However you do it is fine. And let's draw another circle here, just on this line here. Let's do another one. Let's see, right about here. So basically I put some random circles over these lines. These I connected the two of them, just on. Let's put another one down right about here. Right. And as we go, you can always add more if you feel like it. So here's the next step. This is kind of the foundation of this pattern, or the first two steps. And now what's going to really make this pattern is in every other one of these sections, we're going to put in some stripes. So let's start with this nice big one. And I'm just going to, actually I'm going to trace along this edge. I'm just going to put in these lines. And they're very close together. And we're drawing very slowly. Breathing in and out. Now watch what I'm doing here. I'm not drawing these lines in this circle, right? So we're going around wherever there's that circle or bubble or orb. We're just going to go around that. So we're just focusing on drawing these lines. I'm trying to draw them straight. Now, with that said, we don't use rulers because we don't want perfection. We're just drawing these lines, focusing on each stroke, letting go of what it looks like, focusing on how the ink feels going to the paper, relaxing those shoulders, relaxing that grip. So again, notice I'm going around the orb. Going around the orb here. Actually, give me a minute. So since this is a meditation practice, I won't be talking the whole time. So right now I'm going to stop talking and just going to let you focus on drawing these lines nice and slow and relaxed. I'm going to go all the way to the end. And then when you're done, skip this area, right? We want to keep every other one and then draw the lines in the next one. So I'll just get that started so you can see. And we go around those orbs. And I'm just going fast just to show you. So I'll finish that one afterwards. So if you have some music in the background, make sure that is on. So I'm going to show you the next step to this pattern. And that is now we're going to focus on these orbs. So notice how part of this orb is in this section of the section without the lines. We're going to put lines in that section. So the part of the orb that's in the white row, we're going to put stripes or lines, leaving the other side white that's in the part with the lines. And at any time, if it's confusing and you're not getting it, just do whatever feels good. It's not about getting it exactly. It's just about drawing and being in the present moment, relaxing, getting the meditative benefits. No matter what you draw, it will come out beautiful. And remember, you can turn your tile at any time. to get a more comfortable position. So I might turn my tile the reverse direction just so I'm a little bit more comfortable drawing these lines. And see if you can slow down a little bit more, feeling relaxed, remembering to breathe. So the name of this pattern is called Stricles. Stricles. And there are different variations of this pattern, and it's an original Zentangle pattern. There are many, many thousands of patterns out there. And this is an original from Zentangle.com. Rick Roberts and Maria Thomas are the founders of Zentangle. They're husband and wife, and you can read more about them at Zentangle.com. Always like to mention them because they are the founders of Zentangle. All right, so we're going to move on now to another pattern. We have 2 more patterns to go, and then we'll do some shading with our pencil and our smudgers. Okay, so the next pattern we're going to do is in this section right here on the right. Turn that light off. And what we're going to do here is we're just going to put in S's, right? So we're going to draw an S. And at the edge, we're going to give it a little loop and color that in. And we're going to do that on both sides. Little loop, color that in. So these, now just do one S right now. Just do one S. Doesn't matter how big or how small. And when you do we're going to fill this whole section up with S's, and then we're going to do something else. But every time you do another S, turn your tile to get a different angle. Just draw that S in a different angle. And again, they can be all different sizes. Don't even think about it. Just draw your S. Let the pen be zen. And every time you draw, every time you draw the S, turn your tile a different direction and draw that S in a different angle. So we're just going to focus on that first, and then I'll show you the next step. So these S's are not touching, by the way. They're floating in this section, and they could be all different sizes. So I'm going to show you the next step to this pattern. We're going to aura each S. So an aura is just tracing right around that same shape, nice and close, just giving it an outline, nice and slow, breathing. I don't know how this happened, but so I'm just going to do this again because I don't know what I don't know what I just did there, but not what I meant to do, but it's okay because that's what Zentangle is all about, letting go of the outcome and There are no mistakes. So if you think you made one, it's just another opportunity. Oh, I guess I did fine. Okay. So we're just giving it an aura. So I guess I could have, yeah, okay. I could have gone. I don't do this pattern very often. This is another original Zentangle pattern, which was created by the founders of Zentangle. So we're just going to give each one of these S's an aura. And if you go out of the lines into another section like we did here, it's perfectly fine. The pencil is meant to just give us a guideline, so we don't have to think about how far we're going to tangle a pattern. And everything in pencil just disappears anyway. And once you've given each one an aura, you're going to do it again. Give each one an aura again. And eventually, you're going to keep doing this one at a time. And eventually, they're all going to connect, and you'll just keep auraing with whatever space is left until this whole section that we're working in is filled up. So work with this whole section right here, keeping this section white or blank because we are going to put another pattern in here in a little while. So right now everybody is muted, but at the end of class we'll be able to unmute and chat and share what we've drawn today. You're welcome to use the chat if you have a question, but there will be an opportunity at the end as well to chat, to talk verbally. Right. If you finish before we move on to the next step, just sit quietly, relax, go into a meditation, just relaxing. Give your brain a rest. I'm glad you like the birds. I keep my lanai doors open. It's a screened-in lanai, so all the birds in the backyard. I don't own any birds. A lot of people think they're in my house, but they're outside, and I'm very lucky to be able to. I tell them to come when I start a Zoom class. I say, come on, birds, come sing for my students. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the next section. And if you're not done, just go back to it at any time. So in this section here, we're going to draw a triangle. And I'm going to make this a pretty good size, not too small, not too big. Anywhere in this section at all is fine. I'm shooting for the middle right now. So just draw one triangle first. And now we're going to draw another triangle, but we're going to start our next triangle by ordering one side of the triangle we just drew. So there's that little space in between. Doesn't matter how much space you have there. And then I'm going to turn my tile and do it again. Because Zentangle is all about doing the same thing over and over. So we're going to fill up the section with these triangles and starting the next one the same way until the whole section is filled up. And then we're going to put something in these triangles to spruce it up a little bit, just to let you know that. But right now, just focus on getting those triangles in. They can be all different sizes, focusing on each stroke, nice and relaxed. Remember, it's perfectly fine to go over the lines. Imagine those pencil lines that we drew, that border, they don't even exist. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do to fill these in, and remember, you can always do anything you want. If your inner artist is coming through and saying, oh, I have this idea, pay attention to that. All right. So what I'm suggesting today, because there's so many different things we can do here, but today I am suggesting we're going to put another triangle in the middle. Actually, it's in the middle, or you can think of it as an aura as well, meaning I'm going to show you here. I'm going to aura this. I'm going to aura this triangle, an inside aura. So that triangle is a little bit bigger, which gives me more space to do what I want to do, which is inside. I'm going to put in these tiny little orbs, and they're all connected. But since I drew this small little triangle, I'm going to give you two different variations to do today. So I'm going to color in that triangle. And the way I'm coloring that in is little circles, going in a circular motion, but you could color it in any way you like. And I'm going to draw a line from each point to the corners. So you can mix and match or pick just one. So I'm going to do this again. I'm going to draw an aura in here. And then inside, I'm going to put in these orbs, nice and relaxed, focusing on each stroke. And then over here, I'll put in a little triangle in the middle, color that in, and then from each point, draw a line to the corresponding point or corner. And if you have a different idea to put something else in there, you are always welcome to do that. Zentangle is all about tapping into your own creativity, not thinking about it, just doing it, whatever feels good to you. There's no right or wrong in Zentangle. But I always say there's no wrong in Zentangle. Everything you do is right. And if you find yourself speeding up, just slow it down. And I'm kind of talking to myself right now because I found myself speeding up. And I have to remind myself to slow down. Now see how slow you can go. See how slow you can draw. Really slow it down. Imagine you're in a contest for $1 million and the winner of who can draw the slowest will win. How slow would you draw? So I want you to take a moment now, and if you're not ready, you can wait till you finish doing what you're doing, but tap your pens, shake out your wrists. We've been drawing for a little while, about 45 minutes or so. Maybe do a little stretch. Shake out those wrists, those shoulders. Watch Chrissy, she's doing a really good stretch. Yeah, you can lean back on your chair. All right, stretch it out. All righty. Resume. Okay, so I'm going to be using the Zentangle pencil and the tortillon. This is just a smudger, a blending stump, or you can use a Q-tip or your finger. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do with our pencil is do a little shading. So let's go right inside, kind of giving it right above the line that we drew. And actually, you could even go right into that circle as well. So we're going right along the line, using the side of the tip of the pencil. Almost, I call this a shaded aura, giving this an aura with the graphite. And let's do that on both sides, right inside the line, just bringing it, giving it a little bit of graphite. And then with your tortillon, we're going to face that line, pointing your tortillon, and in little circular motions, we're going to smooth out that graphite. You can push it out a little bit, push it, bring it in a little bit too. Not too much, because we still want lots of white in the middle. And then I'm going to turn my tile to do the other side so that my tortillon is facing the line. And just smoothing it out, blending it. So for those of you who are new, shading is part of the Zentangle process, where it makes it pop, gives it a 3D effect, gives it depth, and it really is like the icing on the cake. It really transforms the tile. You can see from this and this what a difference that shading makes. And we don't have to worry about the light source at all. It's not about that. So we'll do the same exact thing on the next one. And this can be very light, because you can always add more later on. So you can go dark or light, but I always like to kind of go medium. And then when you're ready, just blend it in. Turning that tile. And what I like to do right here, I'm going to take what's left on my tortillon, and I'm just going to put a little bit right on the edge of this white area of this orb, just on either side, a little bit of shading. You can go over that again, blending it some more if you'd like. Okay. So I'm going to move on now to this next pattern, and this pattern is called Tripoli. And the other pattern is called Tidings. And I'll send you all an email on this. So this one is Tidings. So this is Tripoli, just a version of it. So what's left on my tortillon, I'm just going to kind of brush over, just kind of dab a little bit on these orbs to give it just a little bit of sporadic shading. I'm not even thinking too much. I'm just kind of just dabbing over it. And I'll do the same with the ones without the orbs, maybe just in all three corners of the triangle of the one that we have the mini triangle in the middle. So I'm just using what's left of my tortillon and just rubbing a little bit of graphite on each corner of those triangles. And if you have a different, there's always more, there's many ways to shade. This is just one way. And my camera doesn't show the true shading on this, but you can at least see where it is. But it does look darker on my tile. And now, I'll give you time. So now let's move on to Tidings. And for this one, we're going to do shading all around the perimeter. It's called a cushion or pillow shading. So using the side of my pencil, and I use that because it blends better, I'm giving it all an inside aura with a shaded aura all along the perimeter. On the inside of this section, I'm putting on some graphite. Not even worrying about if it's messy or not, that doesn't matter. Just kind of like a pillow, you know how a pillow is, where it rises up in the middle. And then once you've got your graphite down, you can go and smooth it out, staying close to those edges. And then push it, and you can go around and bring it in a little bit. So you can push it out for another layer, like a lighter layer, keeping that whole middle nice and white. Again, it's much darker on my tile, but you can at least see where it is. And when you're done, turn your tile around because there's no right side up in Zentangle. So each time you turn it, it looks different. So just turn it once and then take a look at it and then turn it again. You really admire what you've done today. Appreciate the time you spent. Notice how you feel compared to an hour ago. Hopefully you're more relaxed. And when you're done, take your pen and sign your artwork with your chop. And when I say chop, that's just your signature. You can design your name, you can design your initials, sign it any way you like. I just use my initials. Rick Roberts, co-founder of Zentangle with Maria Thomas. Rick has his chop as RR, his initials, and they're upside down, touching each other. And Maria signs hers with just a nice big designer M. So you can sign any way you'd like and appreciate what you've done.